What's up, guys? P-Monty89 here today, and I'm making this video to talk about that UN gun treaty, the small arms treaty that's going to be going on. My argument here is not going to be if it's going to happen, if it's not going to happen, if there's a loophole, if there's not a loophole, etc., etc. By the way, Captain Burrs, very good video on your part. Thanks for the information. And guys, you need to go check out his video when you get a chance. It's very informative. So Captain Burrs, 2 thumbs up for your video. Thank you very much for that. This video is for all the anti-gunners, actually. And I'm going to demonstrate a couple things and bring up a couple things from history. A lot of you guys know about, a lot of the older subscribers know that I am a huge history buff. I am big into history. Okay? Most of my research is done in the ancient period, Rome, Greece, Egypt, etc. Okay? But I do have knowledge in other time periods, obviously. And what is the main reason? Why do we study history? And it's very simple. And some people argue this, but it is true. We study history so we do not make the same mistakes again. And we also study history, to learn from our past mistakes and how to avoid future mistakes, okay? And, so, this video is pretty much going to touch base on all that, okay? Before I get to that, there was a lady at my store, okay? And she was talking about how most gun owners end up killing the people that they love. Yeah. Guns, I said, don't kill anybody. Her eyebrow raised. She looked at me as if I was crazy. Let's demonstrate right now. By the way, every gun here, there's only one gun, has been safety checked. So guys, safety Sally's out there, do not freak out because I have to make my point. And it will include the gun being pointed at me. But as you can see, it's empty. Okay? Safety's on. So you say the gun can kill me, right? If I put it to my head, it can kill me? Alright, Ruger P95, shoot me. I'm waiting. Are you a bitch or something? I said shoot me. What are you, a bitch? Can't shoot? No, it can't. Why? Well, number 1, the safety's on. Number 2, there's no magazine. It's unloaded. But the most important part of all is there wasn't a finger on the trigger. You see, the person behind that trigger is what kills somebody, is who kills somebody, okay? It's not the gun. Getting rid of a gun will not stop people from killing other people. If a criminal wants to break a law, if a criminal intends to rob, if he intends to murder, why do you think he would give a damn about getting a gun illegally? Honestly. And you don't think that somebody can get something from Mexico? I mean, anywhere in the world, there's always going to be illegal firearms. Alright? Getting rid of firearms altogether would be as effective as trying to get rid of all the drugs in the world. Drugs are illegal, right? They somehow are still in circulation. I know, let's take a blast from the past. Let's go back to the 1920s. Our government decided that it would be a good idea to ban alcohol. And here's something that you got to pay attention to, kids, because this is very important. So they tried to ban alcohol with prohibition, right? What ended up happening? Let's see. Some guys got together, formed a gang. I shouldn't say one gang, many gangs. And they made money selling alcohol illegally. One of those men was Al Capone. And we all know where that went. Tons and tons and tons of people died when they banned alcohol. And everybody who wanted alcohol, for the most part, got it. Same thing with guns. There's going to be illegal not drug dealers, but there are drug dealers, illegal gun dealers in this country. And people are going to get guns. And they're not going to be traceable. Okay? Right now, guns are getting registered when you buy a new gun. They can track the gun. Okay? Is it ultra effective the way they track the gun? Not necessarily. But they could find you. Alright? They can match up the gun model and break it down from there. Now you have people with illegal guns in the country. And I'm sure people that have bought guns legally would probably do the same thing. Why? Because they'd be worried about the people that have been buying guns illegally killing them. And by the way, most crimes that are done with guns are done with illegal ones. Don't know about that, do you? So let's say we got rid of guns anyway. Let's say that every gun in the world was gone. Is that going to stop killing? No. Why? Because guns haven't always been around in mankind's history. The bow and arrow has killed many people. The blade has killed many people. A pen has killed people. Should we ban writing utensils? They can kill people. Yeah. It's the person behind the weapon that does the killing. Okay, that's what you have to understand. No matter what. Maybe in some scenarios, you might never look this, an old lady might have had a gun. And the robber broke in with a knife. That old lady's at a serious disadvantage physically. She's probably not as fast, she's not as strong. But that gun just gave her the edge to defend herself. Okay? And there's plenty of people out there that's happened to. And they've survived because they had this to protect them. A lot of places in the world, people need guns to live because they live off the land. If you go back, see what's happening now is if we take this treaty, if it goes into effect, and America goes along with it, then we are destroying every fabric of this nation. Okay, the NDAA, the Patriot Act, this. What happened when Rome became an empire? The Roman Republic flourished. Okay? During the Republic is when it was at its peak. When it became an empire, after the second successor of that empire, Augustus Caesar, died, Tiberius took over. And from Tiberius onward, they had nothing but tyrants. And if this does happen, then that's what you're going to have. You're going to have a tyrant government. And what ended up happening in that tyrant government in Rome, finances went down, expansion went up, inflation, more military, more censorship. I'm sorry. And the people rebelled because Rome decided to go against everything it once stood for. It destroyed itself. Some will say the Goths came in, the Lombards, the Saxons, the Sarmatians. That's not what destroyed Rome, actually, despite what you think. What destroyed Rome was the empire itself, was the censorship, was the loss of freedoms of people, okay? All that combined, the unrest that came with it, that is what destroyed Rome. Okay? Rome got weaker as time went on. It fractured into two different empires. The West, which was still the Roman Empire, and the East, which became the Byzantine Empire. And that happened through two dictators. What you're going to have when you disarm the population, you're going to have people that are not only unable to defend themselves and are pretty much subservient to the government, but eventually you're going to have unrest. Okay? This is going to lead to nothing but violence. And If people have to use rocks to get their message across, they'll use rocks. Okay? And I think that eventually people wouldn't care anymore if there was a drone in the air. Because, you know, what point is there to life if you can't live it? Alright? Why should it be forced on you? You know, it's okay to be against guns as far as not liking them. I shouldn't even say against. You just don't like the gun. Okay, it's fine. It's not for you. You don't have to buy the gun. Do not force your ideas, what you want, on other people. That is totally against what this nation's about. And for everybody out there that might be a Christian, for instance, and I'm not saying all Christians are like this, because I was born and raised a Catholic, or I was born and raised Catholic. I was raised a Catholic. Okay. If you really listen to the Bible, if you take its message, then you know that the whole thing with Adam and Eve, God was pro-choice. Okay, if you believe in God, then you know that He's supposed to be pro-choice. So pretty much the whole thing says that do what you want with your life. And, in this life, do what you want. It's your choices to make. You don't have another person telling you what to do. Same with a republic. Okay, within reason. Okay, can't have complete anarchy. But that's pretty much what I'm getting at. And the whole treaty is a joke. And you've got millions upon millions upon millions of guns within this country alone. And the government thinks that it can take all those. I highly doubt that. You got weapons caches, you got private sales, you know what I mean? And like I said, you get the guns illegally. So what I'm saying is, how would this affect the country in a good way? It can't. It just can't. It's just nothing but negativity would come from this. I guarantee you that right now. And for everybody that says that this can't happen, Burrs pointed out something. Watch his video, by the way. Don't just say that it can't happen because you have your rights, because you have the Constitution. Okay? If you're not doing anything to try and stop this, if you're not doing anything to try and help alleviate the current situation, and you keep telling yourself everything's just going to be okay, it won't be. Okay? Think about it. How was this country founded? Do you think that they kept saying, oh yeah, sure, the King of England, yeah, it'll be okay eventually. He'll eventually alleviate our taxes. He'll eventually, give us some leeway, give us some space. No. Eventually they had to stand up and fight and take back what was theirs. Their God-given rights. And this became the greatest nation to live in for the longest time. And now it's starting to look like any other dictatorship that ever happened, like Hitler, the Nazis. Starting to look like that. Starting to look like Mussolini's regime. It's starting to look like Caligula and Claudius's regime. That's what it's starting to look like here. Especially with the NDAA and now this. I mean, come on. Wake up. It's time to wake up, people. So, just want to share it with you guys. Please comment. Let me know what you guys think. I'm always open for it. So, until next time, I'm out of here. Piemonte89 out. Peace. Remember, anti-gun is anti-American. And it's anti-humane. Because when people can't defend themselves, because you decide to pass some stupid law, that's bullshit. And it's not right. Peace.